extreme poverty that she could not even afford to repair her partially collapsed housing. And she is the mother of the poor. Shiping was working as the head nurse in Severance Hospital as she took care of elder Choi Heung-jong, who was later ordained as a pastor. As he was arrested for the 1919 independence movement, Sheping also had to flee down to Gwangju, remaining single her entire life. She adopted 13 daughters and one son, educated them, and saw through their marriage. Unlike other Western missionaries, Sheping ate barley rice and soybean paste soup, and wore rubber shoes like other common Joseon people. Nothing was spared her energy and possessions in educating the women of Joseon and providing for the poor. Sheping also contributed to church growth by evangelizing throughout rural villages, mobilizing the students of near school. She made rounds to rural outskirts of Gwangju and started expanded Sunday school to share the gospel of Jesus Christ and promote church growth. Expanded Sunday School is a missionary campaign of Sunday school teachers from cities visiting remote villages without churches and sharing the gospel with the children. Sheping also organized the Women's Assistant Association in 1922 to enable women's participation in various church activities. In 1927, the need for a national level association was recognized in the Presbyterian General Assembly, and the entire denomination joined in. It was not easy for women to participate in public activities given Korean social and cultural context at the time, which all the more highlights Sheping's precise planning and dogged perseverance in achieving such remarkable result. A lengthy obituary of Elizabeth Sheping was published as a headline on page 5 of 동아일보. Sheping's mission work in social services was well known in the community, and her death was mourned with the first public funeral in Gwangju. The funeral was led by organizations in the nation independence movement, followed by Christian organizations. Sheping had used her entire wealth and possessions for helping the poor, the beggar, and the lepers in the Korean society. She also worked for social transformation by helping the women, the destitute, and the sick, while actively working for social changes through movements against prostitution activities, abolition of licensed prostitution, and the temperance movement. My last part, I treat with missional hermeneutics. She is the practice of intercultural hermeneutics. Elizabeth Sheping, as described above, through her life and missionary works, may be described as a missionary who lived an anti-imperialistic life in the imperialistic age. In other words, hers was a life of incarnational love through complete self-sacrifice and service. Cultural understanding and adaptation is essential for missionaries. In the 1910s, when colonialist mission strategies were dominant, Sheping's understanding of and assimilation into Korean culture was extraordinary. Gifted in languages, Sheping was a German immigrant to America, but used perfectly standard English compared to other Americans. She also had an excellent command of the Korean language level and was often invited to revival gatherings as a speaker or an interpreter. Sheping considered herself betrothed to the nation of Korea she loved. She followed the culture and ethics of Korea, wished for its independence from under Japan, translated nursing textbook from English to Korean, and mastered daily Korean expressions to the point of being called overly Korean. Such a life of Sheping Such a life of shepherding was on a wholly different level from other missionaries and how they conceived of mission. Compared to the sense of superiority felt by other missionaries who subscribed to social Darwinism, shepherding was very unique. A considerable number of missionaries led a life of privilege. To amass even more personal risk, they equated Western national interest with mission work. It was commonplace for the missionaries to directly involve in commercial activities. But shepherding was very different. Unlike the paternalistic missionaries who did not trust the Joseon people, shepherding raised up Joseon women leaders and entrusted them to carry out tasks on their own. What enabled shepherding to overcome the dominant spirit of the times and live an anti-imperialistic life in an imperialistic age? I would answer that in Korea, by identifying herself with the Koreans, she persisted in living out the incarnation. This answer may be summed up in one word as convivence, a missionary concept meaning living together. Convivence is a missionary concept based on intercultural hermeneutics defined by Theo Jundomeyer, German theologian, which means to persistently live together through daily life. The following is an excerpt from shepherding's letter to her supporters. She wrote this on August 7, 1930, on the ship back to Korea after her first sabbatical year in 17 years of mission. Somehow, living this time did not leave me as it did the first time, keyed high with excitement for the great unknown venture of being a new missionary. Today, instead, there is a deep feeling of unworthiness of being a missionary, and there is a high resolve to retrieve former mistakes and, above all, not to dominate according to the Western civilization, but to cooperate more from the Oriental viewpoint of life. As I look back on my past 17.5 years in the Orient, it seemed that I have made the greatest mistake in underestimating the high ideals and ways of Oriental living. No matter how low the non-Christian Oriental state of life may be, there is beauty and love and many things that are fine that I have undervalued in the past because of my own idealization of our Western civilization. But my ear at home has opened my eyes to its many gross shortcomings that are startling to all who see and search for real spiritual realities in the social fabric of present-day civilization in USA. Please allow me to omit some sentences. I do not wish to pauperize any Korean. I have seen and heard and read the deep poverty of America, but with it all, take the poverty of my Korean people, then the comparison stops, for it cannot be equaled.